So, you've just welcomed your new baby. It's just incredible, right? So much excitement and joy. But let's be honest for a second. It can also be a little terrifying. You find yourself staring, watching every single tiny movement, listening to every little squeak, and this one question keeps popping into your head.
Is this normal? Is what they're doing okay? Believe me, that is the #1 question on every new parent's mind. And you know what? It's a great question. You're getting to know a brand new little person, after all.
Well, for the next few minutes, we're going to show you exactly why the answer to that question is almost always a big, reassuring yes. We're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing first day and hopefully turn some of that worry into some real confidence. Ready? Okay, let's dive in.
To really get what's going on with your baby right now, you have to wrap your head around one huge central idea. They have just made the single biggest transition of their entire life. I mean, think about it. They've literally gone from one world to a completely different one.
And this really breaks it down. When they were inside the womb, life was pretty easy, right? The placenta was like this amazing all-in-one life support system. It handled everything, getting oxygen, nutrition, staying warm, the whole shebang. But then, boom, the second they're born, that all changes. Suddenly, their own little lungs have to figure out how to breathe air. Their stomach has to start digesting food, and their own body has to create its own warmth. It is a massive, massive adjustment.
So, how does this incredible transition actually unfold? It doesn't all happen in a chaotic rush. The first 24 hours tend to follow a surprisingly predictable pattern. Let's take a look at the timeline.
In those first couple of hours, what people often call the golden hour, a lot of babies are surprisingly alert, looking around, ready to connect. But right after that comes the big sleep. And that makes total sense, right? Birth is exhausting work, so they'll take a long, deep rest to recover. Then, as we get into the second half of the day, they start waking up to the world, and that's when they'll show a lot more interest in feeding.
Knowing that timeline is super helpful. It gives you a kind of roadmap. But what about all the kind of weird things they do? The little quirks that can make you pause and wonder. Let's decode some of the most common behaviors that look strange but are completely 100% normal.
This is so important because it's not just what they do, it's why they do it. That fast, sometimes uneven breathing you might see, that's just their brand new lungs pushing out the last bits of fluid. Totally normal. See their hands and feet looking a little bluish? Again, normal. Their circulatory system is just getting started, kind of like a new plumbing system firing up. And that black, sticky first poop? It's called meconium, and it's actually a great sign their digestive system is kicking into gear. Even the weak feeding and deep sleep, it's all about conserving energy. Every single one of these is a positive sign that their body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
And speaking of feeding, this little fact is something every new parent needs to see. On day 1, your baby's stomach is literally the size of a cherry. That's it. So if you're worried they're not eating enough, just remember this. They can't handle big meals yet. Small, frequent attempts at feeding are exactly what their tiny system is designed for.
So with all this going on, you're probably asking, okay, so what do I do? And the great news is that your role is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. You are your baby's anchor in this strange new world.
Here's your game plan, and it's a simple one. First, keep them warm. Skin-to-skin contact is just magical for this. It regulates their temperature and makes them feel secure. Second, offer feeds every couple of hours, even if they're sleepy. Third, let them rest. Sleep isn't just downtime. It's when all that hard work of adjusting is really happening. And maybe most important of all, just observe calmly. Your relaxed energy is honestly one of the most reassuring things you can give them right now.
Now, we've talked a lot about what's normal, but it's just as vital to know the few signs that are not so you can feel confident and prepared. Let's quickly go over the things that should make you pick up the phone and call a doctor.
Okay, let's be really clear here. We're not talking about 1 or 2 sleepy feeds. We're talking about a baby who just won't wake up for feeds at all. With breathing, we don't mean those little occasional uneven puffs. We mean breathing that is constantly fast, where you can actually see their chest pulling in with each breath. And we're not talking about slightly blue hands and feet, but if their body, their lips, or their face looks blue. See the difference? These are the clear signs. And if you see any of them, you don't hesitate, you don't wonder, you just get medical advice. It's always, always better to be safe.
And that really brings us to the final thought. The first 24 hours are not a test. There is no perfect score. It is all about transition. And this quote just says it all. Calm observation is often the best care in the first day. By understanding what's normal, you can relax, and you can provide exactly what your baby needs most, your warm, loving, and confident presence.
You've got this. Welcome to parenthood.